Hello class, and welcome to another lesson 4.4, and in this particular lesson we look at the concept of JavaScript syntax. The objective of this lesson is to define what's a syntax and some of the examples of syntax. The syntax is a set of rules in a programming language that defines how a program should be written or how a program should be constructed. An example of a syntax could be, for example, how to end a line of code. For example, in JavaScript, we use a semicolon. It could be how to write comments. Syntax can also define how to declare variables and how to name variables. The syntax can also define how to use the operators. The syntax can also define how to define functions in that particular programming language, and so on and so forth. For example, if you turn to our code in this Visual Studio, you can see this is a Visual Studio code. This is our JavaScript code. When you look at this JavaScript code, each line of code, we are ending it using the semicolon. The semicolon is one of the syntax defined in JavaScript. You can also see that we have this console, which is the keyword in JavaScript. The keywords have a special meaning to that programming language. And you can see that we are also putting this text that we want to print within the brackets and then putting it within the quotation marks. All these are examples of the syntax or rules in this particular programming language. Without this syntax, the program might throw an error, and that error is called the syntax error. For example, if I remove these brackets here, you can see that this program has been highlighted using some of these red colors, red lines. And when I put the mouse over this red line, you can see it tells you that we expect comma. Comma is expected. And that means that this program has some syntax error. If you try to run it right now, you save it and try to run, then it is going to give you some errors telling you that there is an invalid or unexpected token, meaning that there's a spelling error or the syntax error within your code. For every programming language, each programming language has its own syntax or rules on how to write the code using that particular programming language. Those rules are what we call the syntax. That is all about this particular lesson, and with that said, I want to pause this lesson at this point and then see you in the next lesson where we look at the concept of JavaScript variables. Otherwise, thank you for joining the class and see you in our next class.